I want to weigh into this conversation between this young lady in the UK who said the husband took her out of his COS, which is the sponsorship, which means she was depending on the husband's visa in order for her to stay in the UK. She mentioned a lot of things that went wrong. I haven't listened to the husband's part of the story, but I'm going to be basing my discussion on her own part of the story. First, she said that the husband brought her to the UK and the husband has always reminded her that he brought her to the UK and that she did not contribute anything towards their coming. To that effect, she didn't say I contributed or I did not contribute. That means the husband is correct. Secondly, she also said that the husband's work time is limited to 20 hours while she has unlimited. And that automatically puts her as a financial lead in that family. And thirdly, she said whenever she got paid, the husband took all the money and only gave her a transport. And the reference at which she made this thing was within a space of 1 month. So within a space of 1 month, they've already had financial crisis. And fourthly, she also mentioned that she was supposed to give one of her siblings money on the 3rd week of her work because she gets paid weekly. But the husband had taken all the money, so she couldn't meet up with her financial obligation. Now, let's talk really quick. Well, first and foremost, your husband brought you to the UK. You did not contribute anything. So first, I want to say that some people come to the UK with a lot of debt. For you to admit that you did not contribute anything towards your coming shows that your husband took full responsibility of the finances while coming. So yes, your husband has the right to that money because your husband is in debt. And you know very well your husband is in debt. And you mentioned that your husband takes all your money and gives you just a little after work. To be honest, that is all you need when you're just settling in the UK because your rent is going to go into that payment. You did not mention where your rent gets paid from or how the rent is being paid because your rent is monthly. Secondly, you said that your family needed to give your family money within the 3rd week of you being in the UK. That is actually very silly for someone who admits to struggling. So it means you do not understand the financial implication of sending money back to people at home when you're still struggling. If you did anything towards your coming to the UK within the first month you're working, shows you don't understand the plight of your husband, the plight of somebody who sold everything, the plight of the person who brought you to the UK with all he's got. And now you make money. And the first thing you want to do within your first 1 month of earning is to send some money back to your family at home when you have rent to pay. For you to be in the UK, your salary, I will assume, within the first few months cannot even cover your basic needs. Cannot. You have to work, both of you, to be able to make this money. And if you're on your husband's sponsorship and he has just 20 hours, it means he can't make money from anywhere. You need to take the financial lead. You are the husband in that marriage right now. And that is the truth. You said your husband is giving into drinking. Look, when I first came to the UK, I was depressed. I was seriously depressed. I didn't give in to drinking because drinking is not my thing. And most people are depressed when they first travel because it is not easy. I came into the UK as a student. I paid 75% of my bills. I did not spend on housing because I lived with my brother. I didn't spend on food because I was fed. I only started paying for housing when I felt I was okay, financially okay to pay. And even at that, I got my first car within 3 months in the UK. So I did not come into the UK broke. I came into the UK prepared, right? But I was still depressed. I was seriously depressed because change of environment, change of everything. I don't know what I was struggling from, but I had struggles, right? Now, this is me who came into the UK. Okay. Then consider people who came into the UK without money. I've seen a lot of people. I have seen a lot of people and I've helped a lot of people because I know what it takes when you come into this country. Shishi, nobody gives you £1. And I understand exactly what it takes for people struggling. But I feel so sorry for women and men who don't understand what it is to come together as a pair. I feel sorry for you because when you come into this country, lady, you're the man. If you're the one to work, you're the man. That is how your relationship is going to work. And when you make that money, give all of it to your husband. Apart from this period of time, I don't advise that. But that is the only way you are going to get out of debt and your relationship is going to work because your husband has to settle the debt he is owing. After he must have finished settling this debt, it might take up to a year. I am not kidding. And when you're coming, I think men should also be transparent about this is it. You cannot be owing 25 million, 30 million to come to the UK. And you come to the UK first week, you want to send money back to your family. How is that realistic, darling? How? Where is the man going to take the money from to sort these problems? You're going to step into being the man. Even if it's for 2 years. It's the long ride, darlings. You have to get used to it. You're not going to give your husband 40% and take 60. It's not going to solve your financial problems in the UK. You're going to give him 90%, and that 10% is going to be that transport you're using to work. In case you guys don't know, that's the truth. That 10% is the transport fare you're going to use to work. There's nothing slaying about you coming broke. You cannot slay when you're broke. Be honest with yourself. You cannot. So if you don't have this discussion with your partner, please don't come. And I'm quickly going to say something like, we should always learn to appreciate people who have brought us far in life. Or understand. Whether it is your husband, your wife who traveled with you, try to settle issues with the person, because the person's intention while bringing you was good. Nobody will ever think that this person is going to betray them when they get somewhere and they'll bring them. So, live in the UK, live abroad, as a single mom, maybe you've got a strong family backing that will come and support you. But let's just put it like this. When you were working, those 4 weeks you mentioned you were going to work, your husband was babysitting. He didn't mention that. Someone has to babysit for you to go to work. But when you earned the money, it was your money. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, you're owing your husband. But we have to stop scaring people with all this nonsense, because it's just little greed. It's greed. Once you make money, and apparently it happens to people who have not made money before, young girls that have not made money before. Honestly, and that is why the younger girls need to start working and stepping into financial lead. Our young girls are not used to leading financially. We are not used to it. Once they make money, they want the money all to themselves. They forget about how they managed to make this money. You're working for it, yes, I work for it. That's not enough. That's silly. That's silly, I'll tell you. You work for it, yes, but you're owing somebody. You think it's your husband that is owing the person. You are owing the person. You're owing the money. So if it's your husband's money that he's in bringing you, you're owing your husband. You're owing him pay. Paying. Enough of this nonsense, people. When somebody brings you somewhere, they use money to bring you. When somebody brings you to the UK, how did you get there, darling? Guys, it's the truth at the time. Let me stop talking. This video is too long. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.